what ended up happening is the government. Well, I came into work one morning, actually had gone outside to downstairs to go get some coffee, lived on caffeine, lived on a ton of caffeine back then because it was the only thing powering me enough to work 14-hour, 15-hour, 16-hour days and be a single mom and take care of my kid and help with the homework and do all the things. So I went down to get coffee, came back up, barely sitting down in my chair, and I hear, "Step away from your desk." And I turn around and there's feds standing there. And we've got the US Post Office, we've got the Federal Trade Commission, we've got the FBI, and their guns are drawn. "Step away from your desk." Like, whoa, what is happening? Come to find out, she's being investigated now for a Ponzi scheme. And we were told, "Step away from your desk, gather your things, it's time to leave." And they shut the office down. And I was like, what is going on right now? I'm terrified. Had just bought my boat. And I'm like, what? Like, in one moment, unexpected, company shut down. I don't have a job anymore. I had been thinking for weeks, you need to do something different, but I didn't take any action for fear that I was just overreacting. In that situation where you're like, I'm burnt out, the demands are going up, my energy's going down, I hate my life, I'm not fulfilled, but I'm afraid to make a move. Some of you may have experienced a health crisis. Some of you may be like 80% on your way to a divorce. I don't know what that is for you. For every one of us, it's very different. Some of you just may want way more challenge because you're not being used to your capacity. And some of you may be entrepreneurs and you're just like, I've got these horrible clients and I need to up level, but I'm afraid to do it because this is how I've been making my money. This meat, like, you don't have to hit a crisis before you take action. It's interesting how our blinders go on. So this past weekend, we were riding the carriage horses through downtown San Antonio. And the carriage horses always have the blinders on. There was one horse, and the horse that we had was like 4 years old, and he was bopping around, and the carriage is going forward and back. Well, there's a carriage coming up behind us, and this cute horse, older horse, super sweet, has the little blinders on, looks fully bored. I don't know if he just picked up my energy, but he keeps trying to stick his nose into our carriage. And he's coming up right behind. All he can see, all you can see with those blinders on is very limited perception, exactly what's right in front of you. Same thing happens to us when we're in that box of limitation and fear. Our blinders go up and all we can see is what's right in front of us right now. That's it. That's all we can see. And it's very rough when we're there because we don't see possibilities. You see a whole world when those blinders come off. So what I'm telling you is this: you don't need a crisis like I experienced with guns drawn, step away from your desk to make a shift. It may feel like that's what you need. You don't need your spouse to leave to give you that wake-up call. If you are feeling it in you already that something's off, you're not in alignment, chances are you have some blind spots. Now, look, I'm not saying that you can't work through those blind spots on your own. It takes a lot of work. And most of the time, your ego, your fears are going to keep you from seeing the reality of the wizard behind those fears because it's based on current experience, and past experience doesn't give you the ability to see beyond what you've already experienced. It takes working with a coach. I've had a coach for so long. I continue to grow. I continue to develop. When I went through this event, this major turning point for me, there was no one to talk to. But like, it was after the big explosion, and guess what? You're unemployed. Like, you don't have a job. Good luck getting a paycheck for the work you've just done. It was shocking. So what did I do? Because was already doing a lot of personal development work, I had a dream to open my own boarding and training facility because I showed horses and I trained horses and I rehabilitated abused race horses and turned them into jumpers. It's like, you know what? I have a little bit of money. I'm going to go ahead and go into that business. I'm going to make a go of it. And thankfully, it was super successful right out of the gate. And then I started coaching young riders and loved it, loved working with the people, ended up moving to Colorado and took on this job, which I've now been coaching people for the last 23 years.